Our today topic is mechanisms of cell injury. We are going to start the study of some important changes occurs uh, during the any type of injury, like in ischemic and hypoxic injury, in free radical injury, in chemical mediated injury, or in age related changes in cell. So we will learn about different mechanisms of cell injury, and we will discuss in detail ischemic and hypoxic injury, and we will also discuss reversible and irreversible damage due to decreased ATP in cell, and we will discuss lysosomal changes in irreversible injury, and then we will see the effect of lysosomal changes. This topic is not actually complete in this lecture. It is quite lengthy topic, so we will complete it in our 1 to 2 lectures, in our next 1 to 2 lectures. So, what are the mechanisms of cell injury? Mechanisms of cell injury. Mechanisms of cell injury are depends upon the ischemic and hypoxic cell injury, free radical mediated cell injury, chemical mediated cell injury, or cellular aging. Okay, so according to these four types, there are slightly different mechanisms of cell injury. So we are going to start it from ischemic and hypoxic injury. You have already studied that ischemia is the deficiency of reduced blood supply or deficiency of blood supply. There is another thing is hypoxia. Hypoxia is the reduced oxygen supply. So we have actually discussed about the some major causes of hypoxia and ischemia, like arterial clot formation, or blockage in artery can cause ischemia. On the other hand, it also causes hypoxia. And another thing is decreased amount in oxygen in environment also cause hypoxia. These all are actually dangerous for human body. What actually happens during the ischemic and hypoxic environment in our body? So let's discuss about these changes. In ischemic or hypoxic cell injury, actually there are usually first step is involved in the failure of sodium potassium pump in the plasma membrane. We have discussed a few things about sodium potassium pump failure in our previous lecture, but we are going to start it as a mechanism of cell injury. So what happens in the reversible cell injury due to ischemia and hypoxia? So in failure, first step is failure of sodium and potassium pump. I have told you that our plasma membrane have a special type of pumps which allows the movement of sodium and potassium ions through it. So when these pumps moves with the help of energy, and energy in our body, they get energy in the form of ATP, and ATP produced from the mitochondria. So whenever and mitochondria produce ATP. Mitochondria produces ATP through oxidative phosphorylation, and the for proper working or for proper completion of oxidative phosphorylation, uh, uh, proper and appropriate amount of oxygen is required. Oxygen is required. But if a body suffers with the hypoxic condition, then what happened? Then oxidative phosphorylation gets damaged. When oxidative phosphorylation in the mitochondria gets damaged, then ATP production become decreased. When ATP production get decreases, then what happened? When ATP production get decreases, then decrease activity of sodium and potassium ATPase occurs. So when sodium and potassium ATPase activity decrease in activity occur, then movements of ion, movement working of pumps and movements of ion through these pumps become damaged, or so in so then decrease ultimately actually all failure of sodium potassium pump is happening due to a decrease ATP. So due to decrease ATP, or due to loss of, then due to decrease ATP, what happens actually further loss of potassium and accumulation of sodium inside the cell. Loss of potassium, you already know that when three sodium ions move inside the cell, two potassium ions move outside of the cell. So sodium gets due to failure of sodium potassium pump, sodium concentration become high inside the cell, and the potassium concentration gets high outside of the cell. Also, calcium entry into the cells happens, occurs net gain of solute, sodium and calcium, and so the net gain of solute occurs. So and isoosmotic gain of water so occurs. It means when potassium and calcium ions concentration gets high in the inside the cell, then water from outside of the cell move into the cell to maintain the osmotic this osmotic stress, to compensate this osmotic stress. So due to these actually due to cause the following morphological changes. What are the morphological changes? Swelling of cell. Swelling of cell occurs due to the accumulation of too much water and the loss of microvilli. Myelin figures accumulation inside the cytoplasm, and the endoplasmic reticulum swelling can be seen. So first step was the in the ischemic and hypoxic injury was the failure of the sodium potassium pump due to decreased ATP production. So another condition is the what happens in the ischemic and hypoxic cell injury. Second point is the anaerobic glycolysis. This step is another important thing because because our cell is suffering with the deficiency of ATP due to the deficiency of oxygen. So when oxygen gets impaired, then oxygen concentration gets impaired, then anaerobic glycolysis starts. When anaerobic glycolysis start, then uh, mm, uh, when anaerobic glycolysis start to compensate ATP before starting decreased ATP value occurs due to oxid or hypoxia. When it occurs due to increase when ATP amount gets decreased, then increase in AMP, adenosine monophosphate occurs, okay, due to breakdown of ATP. Then after the activation of anaerobic glycolysis, first of all, one step is actually miss. Before starting anaerobic glycolysis, activation of phosphofructokinase occurs. ठीक है. Phosphofructokinase is actually a rate limiting enzyme of glycolysis. Okay, so then when increased anaerobic glycolysis occurs from glycogen, then uh, glycogen due to the breakdown of glycogen and the anaerobic glycolysis, accumulation of lactic acid occurs. When accumulation of lactic acid and inorganic phosphate occurs inside the cell, then pH of the cell cytoplasm gets decreased, and when the pH of the cytoplasm then gets decreased, then another condition is also has been observed. First is the clumping of nuclear chromatin. Clumping of nuclear, it means nucleus can nuclear material, chromatin material can move toward the damage, but clumping of chromatin material occurs. Then another condition is actually related uh, with the impaired protein senses. So what happened in the impaired protein synthesis due to decreased ATP count, as as you already know that your patient is a cell is suffering from the hypoxic condition, and ATP is decreased, ATP concentration is decreased, and detachment of ribosomes occurs. When then what happens due to decreased ATP count? Detachment of ribosome from the rough endoplasmic reticulum or granular endoplasmic reticulum occur, and dissociation of polysomes into monosomes occurs. Okay, so dissociations from polysomes to monosomes occur. Then decreased lipoprotein synthesis also occurs. Decreased lipoprotein synthesis also occurs from triglycerides and lipid acceptor protein. It means decreased lipoprotein synthesis occur because patient is suffering from the decreased ATP count, and the and appropriate energy is required for the synthesis of lipoprotein. So when patient is suffering from decreased ATP, then decreased lipoprotein synthesis will occur, and the lipid accumulation. Then if lipoprotein is insufficient, formation of lipoprotein is insufficient, then lipids gets accumulate inside the cell, and then this is actually happens due to impaired protein synthesis. All the above, these all changes are actually reversible, and they will be corrected if oxygen supply is restored. But uh, if oxygen supply does not restore, then what happen? Oxygen after then cell move toward the irreversible injury or irreversible or permanent damage. When if ischemia and hypoxia persist beyond reversible injury, then cell move toward the irreversible injury. What happens in the irreversible injury? There are few things can be seen in the reverse, especially in the irreversible, is like injury to lysosomes. First step is the injury to lysosome. Lysosome gets damaged. Then second one is the injury to plasma membrane, a plasma membrane, and injury to mitochondria as well. And if and then at the end cell move toward the death phase. Okay, so when what happens in the injury to lysosomes, when lysosomal membrane gets damaged, then increase ischemia persists for a long time, then increased in glycolysis anaerobic glycolysis occur, and severe decrease in pH occur, as we have discussed in our previous slide, that due to decreased pH count, due to accumulation of lactic acid, pH gets decreased. When pH gets decreased, then damage to lysosomal membrane occurs. So when lysosomal membrane gets damaged, then lysosomes get ruptured, and when lysosomal membrane gets ruptured, then intracellular release of lysosomal enzyme occur. It means enzymes move from cell to its external environment and cause the digestion of the proteins present in the cytoplasm. Then it causes the digestion of RNAs, different types of RNAs, and it also causes the due to decrease in RNA, due to digestion of RNA, decrease in basophilia occurs. What is basophilia? We have discussed in our previous lecture. So due to the resolution, or due to the decreased due to increased RNA damage or decreased RNA maintenance, basophilia gets, or RNA structure gets damage, and lysosomal enzyme cause also nuclear changes like karyolysis, pycnosis, and karyorexis, and you have already studied that these are actually stages of necrosis. Okay, so these are actually lysosomal changes which are actually associated with the irreversible cell injury. This lecture is actually a start of our new general topic, actually mechanism of cell injury. So I will discuss some more irreversible changes in my next lecture. In my next lecture, I will discuss some changes like plasma membrane changes, and then we will discuss the pathogenesis of plasma membrane change, and then we will discuss about the injury to mitochondria. There is another important thing is actually free radical mediated injury. It means free radical is can be seen in our body. Free radicals can cause severe damage to our cells or body. So we will discuss these things, all these things in our next lectures. So next 1 to 2 lectures are linked with this lecture. So please listen it carefully and try to understand this lecture. You are free to ask any questions anytime. Okay. So from Robin's pathology, this is actually a topic in second chapter after the apoptosis or necrosis. So, what are irreversible changes in the hypoxia or ischemic condition? So, failure of sodium potassium pump, anaerobic glycolysis, and impaired protein synthesis are actually reversible changes. If oxygen supply gets restored, then these changes uh, will be removed permanently. But if oxygen supply does not restore, then it causes permanent lysosome. It causes pH, decrease in pH, decrease in cytoplasmic pH, and lysosomal membrane damage when lysosomal enzyme moves from lysosome into the cytoplasm. And then these enzymes digest the proteins, RNAs, and nuclear material. And plasma membrane changes, mitochondrial membrane changes. We will discuss these changes in our next lecture. Thank you so much.